Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It's the best time of the week. It's time for Cub Chat Live. I'm Aaron. This guy's Jason. How are you, Jason?
Great. How are you, Aaron? Happy Friday.
I am doing great. It's Friday afternoon. We're about to do a Cub Chat Live. You really can't ask for anything more than that. Shout out to Doug from Akron, Ohio, who wins the award for the first comment of the day. Douglas, thank you for chiming in. Scouter Miss Zedens, you were just a few seconds after Doug. You know, it's not bad. Try to do better next time, though. I'm kidding. Scouter, good to see you. Tamara's here, of course. Tamara, always good to see you. Yeah, Rob says, great topic. I agree. The topic of today's show, training awards and recognition for Cub Scout leaders. You know, the Cub Scout program is built on achievements and awards to sort of, encourage young people to learn things and develop leadership skills and citizenship and all that. But there's also some recognition and training programs for adults that can make us all better leaders, I think. Jason, maybe just kind of give us an overview of why this topic is important.
Yeah, so part of the Cub Scout program, as you said, is advancement and recognition for our youth, right? We give them belt loops for every adventure. We're giving them badges of rank. We're giving them, pocket patches from events and other things. And we don't give anything to the adults. That's the end of Cub Chat Live. Bye, everybody. That's absolutely not the case. So it's important that we recognize our youth, but it's just as important that we recognize the adult leaders in our units to help keep them energized.
Yeah. Not saying this from experience or anything, but some adult leaders, they work pretty hard. So they certainly deserve to be recognized. Let's get started with our discussion. Shout out to Wendy, Ashley, and Corey. Corey says, let's get them knots. Agree, Corey. Very good. Good to see you, Scouter Craig, Richard, Eric, and Don. Thank you all for chiming in. If you have any questions about this topic, we're very lucky to have the expert on. Jason, I think you were saying you've got a presentation on this topic coming up in just a few days or something like that?
Yeah, so next week we're running a University of Scouting in my council, and I'm going to be talking a little less Cub Scout focused, more broadly adult leader, but this exact topic.
Awesome. Let's get started then, Jason. I believe behind the scenes, Brian has some things to display for us. Let's show that first slide. Jason, I'll turn the table over to you.
Yeah, so this is not related to awards, but it's really important. So the national website, we updated it last week, and I wanted to let everybody know. So this page, when you went to the Cub Scout program page and would scroll down, there were two little tabs in the middle of the page, parent resources and leader resources. And if you bookmark that page, it always defaulted back to parent resources. You had to click over to leader resources. And so now it's right there. It's a little bit easier to get to. So there was some feedback that was sent in from quite a few leaders. And so we heard you, we fixed it.
So this is the main Cub Scout homepage on scouting.org. As always, remind everybody, there's a lot of websites out there, many of them run by well-intentioned folks, but the official source is going to be the Cub Scout site on scouting.org, which is just earlier this week, I think, been updated to make this parent resources and leadership training awards, things like that, a little more easy to bookmark and find and things like that. I have a question for you, Jason. What's the most important adult award?
Oh man, is it your wood badge beads? Is it your, what is it? It's this. It's right here. That's the most important adult award that Scouting America has. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that award to me is so important because this tiny little patch shows our youth and it shows our parents that you have committed to finishing your basic position training, this is the first award that every leader should earn. And it shouldn't just be we throw it in a plastic bag and hit you with it we should call people in front of the pack and recognize them like, hey, Aaron here has taken the time to complete his den leader training. He is now a trained leader, and it is so important to recognize that. And I actually saw a question in the chat I'm going to circle back to. So I saw a question from Alex Nutting on Facebook. I'm going to answer that. We're going to get to it. It's coming.
Okay, thank you for addressing that, Jason. And yeah, before we move on, let's just dive into this trained patch here. As you said, this signifies that an adult volunteer, registered adult volunteer, has gone through all of the required training. Just a moment, if I could address that. I remember back in my day, it's been a few years, but when I took over as Cubmaster, the outgoing Cubmaster, previous Cubmaster, gave me a book to read. I swear it was like 400 pages. And he was like, you need to know the adult training has gotten so much better in just the last few years. It doesn't take that long. It's actually quite interesting and enjoyable. You can do it all online. Am I right? Is it all online, Jason?
Yeah, so you can do it all online, and that's perfectly fine. I will always preach the importance of in-person training when you can. So den leader training is like a 2.5 hour class in person.
Okay.
It covers the exact same materials you're going to get online, but the importance is the networking and getting to meet people and the extra sort of flavor, right? Like you get to meet people. Usually it's your district commissioner or somebody on your council training team. You get to meet other den leaders and other Cub masters, and you get to build that network, right? If you're a brand new leader and you're just sort of getting thrown into the water, it's so important to have that support network and have these people that you can reach out to and go like, hey, you know what are you guys doing for this adventure? Or like, do you have any cool blue and gold stuff you're doing this year? Like, build your network. If you can attend in-person trainings, they're so good.
That is a great point. Yeah, you might be thinking it's just easier if I just do it online. In the long run, it might be easier. Contact your local council, find out what kind of training opportunities they are offering, go to it in person and meet other people. There are many people, in some case, I would say dozens, maybe more people who really want to help you be a good volunteer. You might be feeling overwhelmed. You might not have any idea what you've gotten into. There are people there, meeting them in person. What a great point, Jason. Also love the idea of presenting volunteers with that patch, just like we do with Cub Scouts, right? Bringing them up in front of the pack. Rob says they did that at a pack meeting last fall with their pack. I think that is a great idea. Shout out to Jason from the Heart of America Council. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. So that trained patch signifying that an adult leader has taken all of their required training. Arguably the most important patch for an adult leader, I think. I agree with that. What else do we need to know, Jason?
Yeah, so the kind of the weird piece is hazardous weather training has always been required for every direct contact leader since like 2017. It's been a requirement for a long time. But the way the reporting was put together, it didn't actually require you to complete it for your trained to show up until like this past December. And it expires every 2 years. And I can tell you, fighting it in my district, there's a lot of leaders that just they forget it. You don't get an email about it like you do YPT. So if you're a den leader, if you're a Cub master, if you're a Scout master and you're listening in, I'm talking to you too. Go check, make sure your hazardous weather is current. Like it's important that we refresh on that because it's easy to forget.
Great point. Good reminder. We have a QR code, I believe, that we can show, Brian, if you want to throw that up, that takes you to the training awards and recognition page. Jason, can you tell us about that resource and why it's important?
Yeah, so that particular page is I'm going to talk about in-depth 3 awards. Or do I have them? I have 3 of them. They're all on here. Yep. They're probably the first 3 you're going to earn as a Cub Scout leader. One of them you can only get if you're a Cub master. I cheated. I got it as a commissioner. But this page will take you to we'll list out those 3, probably the first 3 in your train strip, and you'll always be able to click in and see the most current progress record. So the most current requirements. I've got QR codes later on in the slides that'll take you straight to them, but that might change in 6 months. It might change in a year. So this page will always get you the most current one.
One thing that you mentioned, Jason, when we were chatting before, is another advantage of taking all this training. You have a bunch of conversation starters on your uniform. People ask, what is this for? What is that for? What is this for? What a great way to start a conversation with somebody and talk about all the training opportunities available. Definitely appreciate that. I would like to talk about a few specific trainings, Jason, if I could. Let's start with something called the Den Leaders Training Award.
Yeah, that's
Seems pretty
wrong foot.
self-explanatory, but yeah, what can you tell us about that one?
So the Den Leaders Training Award is really like the first awards you're going to earn as a Cub Scout leader. So this is really targeted toward den leaders, but if you're a Cub Master in a little pack, you're probably functioning as a den leader too. It doesn't cost you anything to dual register, and you can earn this knot. And it's pretty simple to earn once you get your trained patch. You just have to be a leader for a year or for 8 months if you're an AOL leader or a Lion leader, because they're a little bit shorter than everybody else.
Right.
Complete the basic training, earn this patch. That's a whole requirement. So if you've got this, you're already on track. Attend a powwow or University of Scouting, or at least 4 roundtables during the tenure used for this award. And this is where I want to answer the question that I got to scroll up to find it.
Yeah,
scroll way up.
We got a lot of good comments, which we appreciate very much. I think
So
it was
from Alex,
right? Yep,
yeah.
Yep.
So he said tying awards to attendance at district events and scouting university events that not every council holds every year is not ideal. You're absolutely right. It's not ideal. And so I'm fortunate that we have regular roundtables in my district. I'm fortunate by virtue of running it that we run a University of Scouting in my council. But not everybody has that opportunity. And Aaron, what's the Cub Scout motto?
I think it's do your best.
Do your best. Absolutely do your best. So I would say, and the training committee people might be mad at me, but if you don't have those opportunities in your council, you've done your best. Like if I was a committee chair, I would have no problem signing off on that if we didn't offer roundtables, if we didn't have those opportunities. Don't worry about it, right? Like recognize your leaders. I mean, make the attempt. If you have those things, do try to go. There's good information at roundtable. It's University of Scouting is another great networking opportunity, but do your best.
Right. Yeah, that applies to youth. When families who live in communities where if it's a smaller area or remote area, they might not have access to some of the things that the Cub Scout program adventures, the different electives, things like that. Hey, the only requirement is to do your best. That's all we ever ask. So I appreciate that. Hey, I would like to address a real quick question from Rich. He says he's having a hard time getting his leaders to roundtable. Jason, what do you think? Have you ever got any resistance in people who don't want to go to roundtable? You're trying to get folks to go?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's hard to get people to want to go to roundtable, right? It's always in the evening, usually. Am I going to take my kid? I've got childcare issues. It's hard to get to roundtable. A lot of districts that do offer roundtable have a hybrid model where they offer it both in person and virtual at the same time. I know my district does. You're welcome to come to ours if you want to, but that's an opportunity for you to go to roundtable. We take attendance for our virtual, and we check you in that you're there so that we can log that your unit was represented. And just be there virtually, right? Sometimes your roundtable's on the other side of the county. It might be 2 counties away if you're a big district. It might be an hour drive, but I can walk into my office, sit down, be at roundtable for an hour with my headset on, listen to the information, and boy, that's the shortest commute I've ever had.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
If that's an option, it's certainly worth taking. But I don't know of a good way. You can't like twist somebody's arm and make them go to roundtable, but you can certainly encourage it.
Yeah, Richard chimes in with a comment. He says his council does not have regular roundtables, but they accepted participation in an online on-demand program that they deemed was acceptable. Great advice there, Richard. Appreciate you sharing that. Jason, let's get back to the Den Leaders Training Award real quick. In addition to what you showed right here, there are 10 options to earn the award. Talk. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so you only have to do 5 of these. When you see the sheet, if you don't see that do 5, it looks like a lot. I never had an assistant den leader when I was a den leader, but I had a den chief. I think when I earned this, I had a den chief. I had 70% of my den renew. I helped with took leadership in planning a den service project. There are options here, and you only have to do 5 of them. Complete Baloo is one of them. Baloo's a great training. So Baloo is not a slide, but that basic. Oh my God, I forgot the acronym.
Basic adult leadership.
Outdoor orientation. That's the one.
There you go. Yes. Right.
So you have to have Baloo in your pack to camp, at least one leader. But what happens if that leader gets sick and has to leave? Camp out's over. It's actually, there's a slide way down further towards the end talking about, what does your unit do or your district do that's not an official award. Our pack gave out loops that you put on your epaulet. This one's the Baloo one. If you had Baloo, you got this blue loop. It was a cool little quick recognition, but it also made it really easy at a camp out to identify, cool, I've got like 6 leaders here that have Baloo. I've got like 3 that are first aid and CPR trained. Like
Right.
it's a recognition, but it also helps you as a leader identify what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked earlier about networking. Daniel commented that networking at Baloo training in his area was amazing. Lots of great connections made. Daniel's an assistant Cubmaster. Daniel, we appreciate your service, first of all, but also thanks for the comment about Baloo. Yeah, looking over these Den Leaders Training Awards, these 10 options, it seems like a lot of them are things you're probably going to do anyway in the course of being a Cub Scout leader. Complete Baloo, participate in your den in 1 camping activity, take leadership in planning 2 den outdoors activities. These are things that if you're a den leader for, like you said, 7 or 8 months or whatever the requirement is, a lot of these things are going to get done during that process. That's all you have to do to earn the Den Leaders Training Award. That's the first of 3 awards that we think are kind of important. And the next one is called Scouters Training Award. Jason, tell us about this one.
Yeah, so the Scouters Training Award, which is that one right there, next one over.
Yep.
Is just the next step. So complete 2 years as a registered adult leader in a Cub Scout pack. And so the last one's only for den leaders. You can earn this one as a committee chair. You can earn this one as a committee member. And there was a great comment earlier that there's not enough recognition for our non-direct contact leaders. I absolutely agree. Sometimes it's like we have all these awards for direct contact leaders, but our behind the scenes folks are, committee members that might be our camping chair or our committee chair or whatever they are. We need to recognize them too, and this is the first one that they can earn that's an official award. And so 2 years, complete your Cub Scout position specific training. We're back to the patch, my favorite award. Participate in at least 1 additional supplemental or advanced training event during that 2 years. So you could go to University of Scouting, you could go to like the angler's education class, you could go to Wood Badge, you could go to Sea Badge. There's so many advanced courses to pick from that are not just your basic training, that one's super easy to fulfill. And then we're back to the do your best one, powwow, University of Scouting, or at least 4 round tables during each year, so 8 total. But again, if you don't have that in your area, do your best.
Yep, absolutely. Some of these remind me of a thing that some of us old timers will remember was called Journey to Excellence, which was discontinued a few years ago, if I remember correctly. On our next slide, Jason lists a few other what we call, I think, performance objectives, right?
Yeah, so that was JTE, and now it's something totally different set by your council. So this is still Scouters Training Award. Participate in an annual pack planning meeting, which is awesome, right? Like everybody sits down. We got this loop for just as a leader going to the annual pack planning meeting. It was that important. We thought that every den leader should be there. Every committee member should be there. And you sit down and you make your schedule. You figure out where your camp out's going to be. All of that sort of program planning before the school year starts. We did ours in the back half of summer. And it lets you build a great program that makes kids want to join and stay engaged in your unit. And then serve as a registered adult leader in a pack that achieves council-assigned performance objectives. So that used to be JTE, and it was super straightforward. And now it's kind of on a council-by-council basis. So your council will have performance objectives. Usually they tend to line up with what the commissioners see. So there's 5 performance objectives commissioners see that I'm not going to super go in depth on, but it's like unit size. Are you doing outdoor activity? Are you retaining kids over a certain percentage, or recruiting, and a couple other things? So usually those line up pretty close with what these performance objectives are, and give primary leadership to at least one of those performance objectives in each year. So outdoor activities is one of the commissioner focused ones. Plan a camp out, go on a hike, do something cool outside, so we're not just sitting inside. Like I put the out and scouting. That's all that one is.
Yeah, and again, it strikes me that a lot of these, the two we've talked about so far, the Den Leaders Training Award and the Scouters Training Award, what they really ask you to do is the things that you would normally do as a Cub Scout leader, Den leader, Cub Master, whatever it is, commissioner, I think you said committee chair, whatever it might be. These are things that you're going to do during the course of being a leader anyway. These are sort of, maybe we could call them best practices. All of our PACs across the country who are, having the most success, retain the most members, these are the things that they do. It's not really that above and beyond what a den leader would do on a normal basis. It's just the best practices to keep your den going. I feel like as a den leader, as a volunteer, your initial reaction might be, oh, you're asking me to do all these extra things. Really, we're just showing you how to make your job easier. This is just how you be a den leader, how you be a Cub Master. It's not extra. It's just what you do. These are the little things you can do to have your pack run smoothly, have the kids enjoy it, have the families enjoy it, have people come back for another year. Hopefully they go on to be members of Scouts BSA and a lifetime of citizenship and leadership and all that good stuff like that. I want to pause real quick and acknowledge a comment. I think it's from Carrie, who says they're interested in getting knots, but maybe a little bit nervous. I think what Carrie means is, maybe it just seems kind of overwhelming. It just seems a little bit, well, I don't know if I can do this or not. Jason, any thoughts for someone who has a little bit of anxiety about what they're getting into here?
Yeah. So it's like you're reading my mind because I wanted to talk about that. So there's a lot of leaders, and even leaders I've met and know really well, that have tons of awards. They don't wear them on their uniforms because, well, I don't want people to think of me as trying to be a general. But in my opinion, these awards that you wear on your uniform show our youth and other leaders that you're somebody who's experienced and knows the program well enough to be recognized, and somebody that they can rely on to go talk to, right? Like it's a conversation starter. If I'm a brand new den leader and I have a blank uniform other than my name tag and my pens, I may not even have a lodge flap. I don't know what's going on. And if I see somebody with a couple of knots, I bet I could talk to them. I bet they know what's going on. It looks like they've been around. They've got some stuff on their uniform. And that's the important part, right? Like it's great to give our leaders this recognition, but it's also great to help new leaders identify somebody they can go talk to.
And I would just emphasize again, Carrie, these training sessions, whether they're online or in person, these are not, super duper businessy, challenging things that you can't do. These are friendly people who want to help you out. We are so appreciative that you would volunteer to be a leader in Scouting America for the Cub Scouting program. And we want to make your job easier. And that's why these trainings exist. So nothing to really be nervous about. Just go in. Jason said it himself. The motto is do your best. You've got questions. They've got answers. This is a great opportunity to sort of figure out what you're getting into here. Make it really, really, really rewarding, both for the families in your pack and for yourself. Jason, we're going to move on to our third award, which we have indicated, or third training, which we have indicated as important. And this is something called the Cubmaster's Key. What can you tell us about this?
Den leaders, cover your ears. This one's not for you. So this there's a Cubmaster key, there's a Scoutmaster's key, and then there's a Commissioner's key, which is why I have it. I haven't done all this for Cubmaster yet, but so this one's specific for your Cubmaster. And so within a 5-year period, you have to have 3 years registered as Cubmaster, or 1 year as Assistant Cubmaster, and then 2 years as a Cubmaster. So we had 1 year, 2 year. Now this is your 3-year award. Complete position-specific training for Cubmasters. We're right back to the little patch, my favorite award.
Yep.
And once again, the do your best. Attend a powwow, University of Scouting, or at least 4 roundtables during each year of the tenure used for the award. So pretty straightforward. That first slide for all 3 awards is almost exactly the same, except for number of years.
Yeah. If I didn't know any better, Jason, I'd say you put these in this order, specific, because they definitely follow each other. The Den Leader Award, the Scouters Training Award, and now the Cubmaster's Key. Again, we're talking about a lot of things that you're going to do as a Cubmaster anyway, that most Cubmasters are going to do. So if you are, running the pack as it is designed to be run, you're going to qualify for this award. And, you know, quite frankly, you deserve it. You deserve the recognition. You said earlier that maybe some people feel weird about wearing these knots because they don't want to come across like a general. I agree with Bill, who comments that the knots lend credibility to that leader. I think that's true. Whether or not you come across a general probably is going to be more down to your own personality and how you talk to people, right? What the knots say is that you're a person that people can go to with questions, that you know these things. And if you don't, you're going to do your darndest to find the answer. So definitely agree with that. The Cubmaster's key. What else do we need to know about the Cubmaster's key, Jason?
Yeah, so it's exactly like the last award, just longer. So serve in a pack that achieves council assigned performance objectives for the last 2 years. Have a pack planning session and have a published pack meeting or activity schedule for the parents, which from my last Cub Chat Live, I love a good calendar. I will always have a good calendar. Super important to me as a parent that I know what's going on. I can hang it up on the fridge. And it's so important that we make it a requirement on one of the awards. And then participate in an additional supplemental or advanced training, wood badge, sea badge, University of Scouting, Anglers Award, do one of the range trainings so that you're ready when you cross over into Scouts BSA. There's tons of options.
Yes, definitely a lot of options. Ken says he's not that familiar with Powwow, Scouting University, or Roundtables. Ken, these are events that are, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, a local council hosted, run. Check with your local council, go to their website, check their calendar. Most local councils have published calendars, and a lot of them you can even break down by, you know, camping, training, outdoors event. Is that the right message we want to send there, Jason?
Yeah. So Powwow, it's been a while since I've seen a Powwow, but it was a Cub Scout leader specific day event. You would spend about 4 or 5 hours, have a couple little training sessions, and it was Cub Scout focused. University of Scouting is usually a day-long event. The way we organized ours, we have some Cub Scout classes and a couple of Cub Scout tracks. We've got Scouts BSA, and then we've got some general like district stuff, council stuff, some of the like budgeting and how to run your unit that's not exactly unit specific. Yeah, College of Commissioner Science is a good call out. Good job, Bill. I love College of Commissioner Science, but don't tell the Cub Scouts. But you can absolutely go, and that's an advanced or supplemental training. And then roundtables are, let me put my roundtable commissioner hat on. Your district should, as long as you have the people to support it, run every month something called Roundtable. It's little bite-sized trainings, so it changes every month. You shouldn't be talking about Pinewood Derby 12 months of the year. You might talk about Pinewood Derby in January or December because it's coming up. You're going to talk about blue and gold a couple of months before it happens. They might talk about aquatic safety or climb on safely for your older Cub Scouts. It's just always going to be some sort of little training topic and safety moments. And hey, here's updates to the council calendar. We're having a district camporee on Halloween. It's just going to be that sort of stuff, and also a great networking opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to just say, I'm glad you said that, Jason. And if all else fails, Roundtable is a great place to go to ask questions and to meet people who can provide you with the answers and the guidance that you might be looking for, especially, I mean, whether you're a veteran leader or if this is your first go around, if you don't know what you're doing, Roundtable is the place to go. Even if the topic of the Roundtable, like you say, is Pinewood Derby or whatever it is, you can ask a question. You can find the right person, even if you pull them aside after whatever. It's a great opportunity to meet people, exchange phone numbers, email addresses, whatever it is, and you've got a person that you can go to ask those questions if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And I would also maybe say, if you're a veteran leader, if you've been doing this for many years, Roundtable is a great place for you to go so you can answer those kind of questions to folks who have these questions. So it takes all kinds. There's all, you know, every Roundtable I've been to, it's been a mix of people who don't know what they're doing, along with people who've been doing it for a decade. So a great way to do that. Jason, we've talked about the 3 maybe most important or maybe really critical leadership / training / award opportunities. What are some supplemental or advanced trainings that we need to talk about?
Yeah, so we talked about those a little bit, but almost every one of those, the last 2 of the awards require some supplemental or advanced training. And so that could be going to Wood Badge as a participant, which is awesome. Like we're not going to spend 20 minutes talking about Wood Badge. Take Wood Badge. It's great. I enjoyed it. Yes. Sea Badge was super cool. And I'm cheating. I have the knot. They give you a really nice little metal thing, but I don't like pins in my uniform. Everything's magnets and Velcro. Sea Badge is super cool. You learn about Sea Scouts, which is a past Scouts BSA older youth program. You could go take a certified angling educator course. There's Leave No Trace level 1 and level 2 instructors. There's so many other courses you can go take. You could go to Commissioner College, like Bill said on Facebook. There's tons of options. Yeah, first aid and CPR training is a great option, and you get to help somebody out. Like, you have that leadership there just in case something happens.
Yep. Awesome. Very, very valuable. There are also some other recognition / emblems. Sometimes the words that we use in scouting are weird. Emblems is just another word for a patch or recognition and award that we can get. Can you go over these 4 real quick for us, Jason?
Yeah, so super quick without reading the requirements. So the training awards that we talked about aren't the only recognition we can give our Cub leaders. There's the adult religious emblem, which would go through if your chartered org is a religious organization, or not necessarily if they're your chartered org, just your church that you go to could give this to you. The William D. Boyce New Unit Organizer, if you're one of the key 3 for standing up a brand new unit, you can earn that. That's a pretty cool knot to see, because people are helping grow Cub Scouting or Scouts BSA. James West Fellowship. So that one's cool. It's a little expensive. So the James West Fellowship, you have to donate $1,200 to a specific fund at your council, and they have a little form you fill out. Our OA Lodge tends to buy about 2 of those a year to award to people. I think our district does one every year. It's, if you have somebody willing to donate the funds, it's a really good way to recognize somebody who has really gone above and beyond for your unit. But there's a price tag attached to that one. And then Unit Leader Award of Merit's really cool. So that one's for Cubmasters, Scoutmasters, skippers, and crew advisors. It's like an 18-month performance metric. It lines up pretty close with the training awards. And in addition to getting that really cool patch that's blue and gold instead of yellow, you get a really cool, your Scoutmaster or Cubmaster patch has gold filigree and a gold star on it. It's a really cool patch. And I didn't put a picture on here, and I kind of wish I had, just so people could see it. If you see somebody with that, they've done some stuff. They've really impacted this unit. And if you're a committee chair and you have a Cubmaster or a Scoutmaster or an advisor that's really been killing it for 18 months, put them in for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that kind of the moral of our whole discussion today is that, our adult volunteers work hard, and we really appreciate their passion for the program. The fact that they're taking time out of their busy schedules to do this, they deserve to be recognized. If you're a den leader, Cubmaster, committee chair, if you're just on your pack committee, whatever it is, go to that website. A lot of your leaders probably have already qualified for some of these awards and are maybe in the process of qualifying for more of them. Jason, am I right that there may be some additional awards at the council or district level that people should inquire about?
Yeah, so I know our district has some unique awards that are not national awards. Our district gives them, or like we have some council level awards, or even some unit level awards, right? If your recognition might be having name tags made for all your new leaders every year. That's a great recognition. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Right.
Here's something to put on your uniform that helps identify who you are, so people know what to call you. It could be as simple as some paracord in different colors to say you've completed blue, that you went to the planning conference, that you're first aid certified, that you have safety afloat and safe swim defense. Our district gives out one every year they call the Spark Award. I don't wear it because it weighs 1,000 pounds, but it's just a little lanyard, kind of like your wood badge beads. That's other things you can look into to award your leaders. We do a unit of the year, both pack and troop in our district. And like, it's super cool to see a new pack come up there every year and get this really nice plaque that they get to take back home and celebrate the work that they're doing for just having a great program. And this is going to differ by district to district. It's going to differ by council to council. You should check out your local council's website or district website if you have one, and see if there's anything like that that's being offered that you can put your leaders in for.
Yeah, for sure. And at the minimum, at the unit level, you can always print out a certificate on your printer that says thank you to a parent who volunteered at a camp out, or whatever it might be. Any way that we can recognize our volunteers, whether they're registered in this position or they're just a parent who shows up and wants to help, we need to tell them thank you to make sure they know. A little thing that I like to say, Jason, I don't know if you've ever heard this expression before. A failure to recognize, oh, dang it, Brian got it. A failure to recognize is a failure to energize. I didn't come up with that. I think, Jason, is this you? Did you come up with this?
And I've heard it at commissioner stuff, and I love it. It's important, right? As social people, like as the social beings that we are, it's important that we get an occasional pat on the back, right? Like, you want people to recognize the hard work you're doing. And by and large, everybody in scouting is a volunteer. We have paid professionals, but they're not the ones running the units. They're not the ones in front of our youth day in and day out. That's you. And it is so important that we take a minute to thank these den leaders and assistant den leaders, and even your den chiefs if you have them, your committee members, your committee chairs, your Cubmaster, your assistant Cubmaster, all of these adults, even the parents if they're helping out, right? If you have a non-position parent that helps plan the camp out, or runs the station at your pack meeting, or really jumps in and helps out with Pinewood Derby, it's so important to recognize and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping us. Thank you for taking your time and your talent and giving it freely to us. Because if you don't say that, they're not going to want to keep helping. They're going to, man, you know what? They didn't see all that hard work I put in. I'm not going to do that anymore. It's important. And I'll say, I feel it all the time, right? Like, just somebody says, hey, good job with that thing. You feel energized.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Jenna says, I appreciate this comment from Jenna. I feel willed about getting an award since I'm not doing this stuff for myself, but for the kids. Jenna, you're exactly the kind of person who deserves an award. Thank you. This is why you need the award, for just that. Good job, Jenna. We appreciate that. Jason, before we let you go, any final resources that folks need to check out or know about related to awards and recognition for volunteers and leaders?
Yeah. So I have QR codes in the slides. I think the slides are posted online after the meeting and put down in the links in the YouTube and Facebook. Those will take you to the same place as the QR codes. And then, per the usual, there's a couple of awesome Facebook groups for leaders. They're listed out here. There's usually really good conversations, people who can help answer questions or bounce ideas off of. It's great. Like, just let's give out some awards this year. I'm excited.
I agree. Yeah, those Facebook groups are great places to go to get ideas. If you don't consider yourself to be a creative person, you don't really know, what should I do? Go to those Facebook groups. Super valuable. Folks sharing ideas. Rob, it sounds like to me, is a creative person. He says he gave his adult volunteers a clothes hanger engraved with their name and pack info for them to hang their uniform on. That's awesome. Wendy says they give Scout hero pins to parents who help with events like the Pinewood Derby to get them to help out. We'll close the show with this very nice and friendly, courteous, kind comment from Laura, who says she's a new den leader. Thank you for all this great information. Laura, you're the reason we do these Cub Chat Live. Thank you for watching. You deserve an award. Laura, thank you. We appreciate that. Jason, we went a little bit long today. Thanks for the time. We got to talking. Once you and I get chatting, there's no shutting us up. Anything else we need to let the folks know about before we let you go?
Yeah, so I think I close out my Cub Chat Live the exact same way every single time, and I'm going to do it as long as you guys keep inviting me back. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Thank you to all of our volunteers. You are the reason that this program is successful. And if you weren't doing what you did, we would not be able to have the program that impacts the youth the way that we do. We wouldn't be able to help build them into the great citizens that they are. And so that's entirely you. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the time and the talent that you guys give to your packs and to your troops that make the program what it is. So thank you so much.
I agree 100%. We really can't thank people enough for what they do. Thank you, Jason, for coming on with us today, sending folks into the weekend on the right note. I always appreciate your expertise, your positivity, your enthusiasm. Thank you for the time today. Thank you for all of those of you who are watching at home. We will have another episode. Do you know what next week's topic is, Jason? I should have looked
there's a special guest. Oh man, I forget who the special guest is. It's
here, you vamp for 30 seconds and I'm going to look it up, Jason.
Who is the special guest? We have a special guest next week, and it's going to be really cool. And Aaron's going to tell you in just a second because I don't remember who it is.
The next week's show is on September 19th. Oh, Jamboree on the Air is our next. Thank you. Yes. That's a very cool topic we're going to talk about next Friday. Everybody be sure and join in for that discussion. Thanks again to Jason. Thanks for all of you from watching at home. As a reminder, go back and go through our archives. You can watch all of our past shows there. Have a good weekend, everybody. So long. Bye, Jason.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to catch next week's episode, same time, same place. And let us know how we're doing at go.scoutingmagazine.org/rate-cubchat. We love feedback and ideas for new episodes. And you can visit blog.scoutingmagazine.org/cubchatlive for all our past episodes. You can see us live, except it's recorded, but it was live. Okay, see you next week.